So I'm here with Michelle Petro, and we are about to do a little something for you to start off this episode. Michelle, tell us what we're doing.
Okay, Chris, I will. We're going to find a random book in Chris's music room and pick a word from it and have that word be our inspiration for the way the music sounds and for the lyrics that we're going to sing. So we have no idea what it's about to come out of our mouths.
So,
I'm so pumped.
Yes, awesome. Okay, so, and the word is...
Intense.
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 Okay.
Cool. Love it.
Yeah, I can definitely do intense.
I have a very strong feeling about this type of word. I mean, it might seem alarming, but to me, it's nothing short of absurd. I think you know what I mean. You seem like you're as intense as me. I don't do anything halfway. I try to go all the way. Intensity, intensity. I like to be all up in me. Intensity, intensity. I like to be all about intensity.
Here we go. Now for the pianist. Intensity. What does this mean to me? Well, I shall try for a second to explain my cause. When I think about that word, it's just sort of strong. It's like a fire and not doing things wrong. And all the things I tried to do since I was real young. How I could do things and not feel dumb. I was always on point, the best that I could be. But sometimes the perfectionism afflicted me, and it was not very fun, as you can see. But I try to get over it, to agree with life that is fun, more fun and still intense. What is that about? It's about wanting to have a good time. And just like I'm sitting here making up this rhyme, intensity.
Intensity.
Oh, intensity.
Intensity.
It makes no sense to me.
It makes no sense.
But I
to
try
me.
my best to
I
be
try my
intense
best
and
to
okay
be
with life when I try to describe how I am a bit intense, but it's okay for me because I love that word, intensity. Oh, I love that word.
I love that word.
Even if it is absurd.
Intensity.
Intensity.
It means so much to me.
As you can see. Okay, and welcome to the Artist Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Goslow, and I hope you enjoyed that little segment we just recorded. I'm here with Michelle Petro, and by the way, how are you doing today?
I am doing so great. This is the best way to spend my day off. Beyond it being disgustingly humid today, it's been amazing.
Yeah, it's really weird, but it's strangely true. Of course, when
Yeah.
you're recording a music video and getting the laundry at the same time and having to learn a song that you just made up and actually try to sing the lyrics, there could be a few extra calories and heat being burned in there. Do you think?
I would say yes. I would say exactly. It
Yes.
got a little hot.
Yes. And it got a little intense, you might say.
You know, I would say that.
Yes.
I would say it was intense.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, and you're listening. I guess you just heard this because we have the song. We just did the song.
Yeah.
Of course, none of this has been edited, but you just heard the song. And while a few minutes, the last hour, we were actually out recording the music video.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about.
I almost got hit by a car.
Yes, that was intense. That was definitely intense.
Yeah.
And let me see what else happened. The cat attacked you once.
It did, and my hand was itchy.
Well, yeah.
That happens.
Yeah, there you go. And of course, the humidity was intense. You spilled a few clothes on the ground.
Did.
A
few
little
clothes
intense.
toppled over.
We just got to pause for a water break.
Yeah,
that's how it is,
we're
folks.
thirsty.
That's where it is. So, Michelle, it's great to have you on the podcast.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I just love having different types of guests, and you are our first comedian.
Ah.
So, why don't you talk a little about yourself? What makes you
Sure.
tick, and what's your background a little bit?
I grew up in Orange County, of all places, obsessed with Mad TV and SNL. My friends and I wanted to be on those shows, and we would write sketches and lip sync and all those fun things, and I just kind of never grew out of that. And I'm very fortunate enough to have found the Sacramento Comedy Spot, and when I moved up here to Sacramento, and have just kind of been indulging in my side gig now for about 6 years, which I think has kept me pretty sane. I don't see my life without comedy in it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So a little background, we met Michelle, my wife and I, a few months back when we started going to the Comedy Spot for the Wednesday night taste test.
Yeah.
And there she was, this friendly, inviting, funny person who got us doing crazy little activities together with all these strangers we hadn't met, and most of whom probably are doing it for the first time like we were. And there we were. And ever since it's just been like you just said something about the Comedy Spot, this presence of this fun kind of place to go.
Yeah.
And obviously it means a lot to you too.
Yeah.
And so
It does.
talk to us a little bit just so they get a little overview of what kind
Sure.
of projects have you been up to at the Comedy Spot?
Well, when I first started going there, my goal was to be on the team Lady Business. It's an all-female improv group that's there. And when I started, it was like, that's what I want. That's what I want to get to. I made it. Whoop, whoop. Go me. But since then, I've kind of expanded to create and produce my own shows, like mixing improv and stand-up with this show called Double Threat, where stand-up comedians and improvisers alike do a stand-up set where they don't know what their material is. I give them what their material is going to be on the spot, and they kind of riff off that.
Kind of like we did with the song.
Yeah, definitely like what we did with the song. I'm in a little musical improv show called You the Musical.
Oh, a little musical improv show,
Yeah.
Yes.
I roped you into it.
Yeah, I'm still feeling the rope burn. No, that's not exactly how I remember it. I remember it being like, wow, this is really cool. Hey, you mean I could have the possibility of trying it out myself? Hey,
Yeah.
I'm on board. Let's try it.
You can too.
Yeah, you can too, the musical. Yes. By the way, just last weekend I did my first performance with You the Musical.
You did.
Although you didn't happen to be in that one, I look forward to working with you soon in it.
Same. I'm really stoked for you to be at rehearsals and performing in shows with us coming up. 'Cause
Yeah.
we love having new ideas and new perspectives always coming in.
Now, you were saying about the Comedy Spot, something I think it was worth mentioning because an outsider may not be infused with this the way even I am at this point. It seems like just about everything that is done at the Comedy Spot has a spirit of what you were talking about. Like, here's a prompt, here's an idea. Now make a musical, make a skit, make a scene. It just breathes this great creative spontaneity.
Absolutely.
Just explain a little more, and also what does this meant to you? You were saying that before.
Yeah. Well, I think the funny, unexpected moments in life kind of get pointed out more often in improv, and let's see, this is.
Pause
I don't know.
Pause
Yeah,
for
we'll
goofy
pause.
think break.
Good. Pause for goofy thinking.
We're thinking. Our minds, our eyes are blinking, and we're winking. We're not doing much but thinking. Okay, anyway. Yes, spontaneity and moments of life and how.
And I think improv started as a theater exercise. It started as actors getting character work, getting the before of what happened, and getting just acting out scenes that happened in between scenes in the play. And I really dig that. I went to Cal State Long Beach and got my theater degree. I started a couple of theater companies in Southern California that obviously didn't go anywhere because we were just out of college. But theater is one of my big passions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
you're intense about it.
I'm super intense about it. Yeah. I work at the Harris Center in Folsom, at Folsom Lake College. And so it's
a big venue where they have a bunch of traveling acts and performances going on all the time.
Yeah. I guess I love that improv is another little faction of theater. So I'm not only getting to work behind the scenes at my day job, but then at night I get to be on stage and kind of be anybody I want and be anywhere I want. I think that's what is very intriguing to people is that with improv, it's people on a stage. Sometimes there's chairs. That's all you're gonna see. Everything else that you see is what your imagination can come up with, based off of what these actors on stage are saying.
And it's so fun as that starts to unfold because, you might be sitting there, whether I'm in the class that I've been in, seeing the scene unfold, or even just watching performers, and they're standing there, and the next thing you know, one of them says something about, how thanks, mom, and you realize the other person is the person's mom, and the next moment is like, you realize that they're aliens, and they just add these little things that unfold, and none of it is literally there.
Yeah.
But it's the imagination element that brings it to light spontaneously. You're right, it's very fun too for me, just to kind of do it and to see it.
And to watch.
Totally. And you mentioned about the actors wanting to play, you enjoying playing different, being anybody. And I've heard other actors say that before, appreciating that opportunity. Both, I probably heard some like movie actor or someone or stage actor,
Sure.
The opportunity to be someone else. It's a little different, but it kind of reminds me of the joy of playing a lot of music and playing different types of music, because for me, there's the idea of just enjoying all the different types of feelings or emotions or styles that are possible. Just gives me a particular delight in playing music.
Yeah, because so you get to learn about so much just because of you being improvising a scene. Just like with actors, they get to learn so many new skills based off of roles that they do, and improv kind of does that, just not as intense, one would say. And same with your music, though. You get to learn a little bit about the culture or different genres based off of, actually learning the notes.
Well, it's interesting because I've thought a lot, obviously being an artist too. Early on in life, I felt the calling of music.
Yeah.
And so I know that for me, this personal, intense desire to do music makes me appreciate that any other calling artistically that someone follows, you've got to have a similar just set of a love for that craft and the possibilities of it. And you're nodding your head, so you clearly feel that way.
I do. Yeah, I mean, it's like you have to acknowledge and appreciate all of the artists any artist really, but you got to know, it's to me, it's always incredible to listen to people's kind of art birth stories, or the first moment when they were like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
For me, it was in the 3rd grade. We were reading Paddington Bear, and my 3rd grade teacher decided that for open house, we were going to reenact scenes from the book for our parents. I got cast as the maid. I don't remember her name, of course, but I was devastated. I had one line, and I was supposed to walk out with a tray of tea, with a tea set. I am inherently clumsy. My mom was clumsy. My grandmother was clumsy. The hand-eye coordination thing, not our main skill.
God just skipped that gene for you.
He did.
It's like,
yeah.
Not so important for them.
She did. So, but I decide that I also have an English accent. 9-year-old me. And so I'm walking out on stage, it's my cue. I stumble and knock all of the tea set over. But I improvise, like, oh, dearie me, well, I'll go back into the kitchen and, get it all cleaned up, and you go on ahead, basically. And they kept, everything kept going. But from then on, I was like, okay, I just handled myself as smoothly as I've ever handled myself. And I made an entire room of people laugh. And it was just from then on, I'm constantly searching for that. And I know to my detriment sometimes, I'm trying to go for the joke a lot. But
you are in the comedy world.
Yeah.
So that kind of goes with the territory.
For me, it's practice.
Yeah.
I'm going for the joke.
Yeah, well, it's really cool. What I hear there is sort of like this spot weld moment where you may not have realized, wow, that's it. That's what I want. I want to not only maybe do this, but I want to have that reaction from this audience. And like you said, you keep trying for that ever since. I think that, I certainly relate to that. I've had the same kind of thing with piano when I was young, someone would react, or even acting too, which I did almost before I started playing piano, but singing and acting, and people responding and being overjoyed to see me perform and yes, more of that, please. I'll make that about my life about that.
Because when you can affect someone emotionally in that way, it's kind of indescribable for me at the moment, but
it's worth devoting a life to.
It totally is worth. It's worth all the work and the multiple jobs and the getting paid maybe not as much as one would evaluate value their time, but you do it for a passion that never dies. You do it for the constant voice in your head that's saying, what else are you gonna do? What options are there?
Yeah. Well, back in college, I had my own epiphany or realization, exactly what you said. I was just thinking about it even before you said that, sort of well, I could die or kill me now, or I want to do music.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's pretty easy. However, I think for some people, they never arrive at that moment. Some people, maybe you had friends, I certainly did, who, it's you look at them, they definitely have the skills and the ability, but unless you have that desire, and I've heard other mentors, creative mentors say this, if you can't do anything else, then this is for you.
Yeah.
If you can do something else, maybe you should.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be harsh, but,
I've heard that too. And been good, I'm glad we agree. This is what I'm doing now for the rest of my life. Yes. It's very cool. And so cool, I just had this thought. I don't know how, but I'm wondering, so I know we already did a music video. We already made up a song. Is there any kind of auditory little, maybe just we could just record maybe a theater game that you and I could do right now? Is there something you could think of that guide us to? We could do, let's see, we could just try to do a quick scene. It's a very simple improv game where it's called say. I know how to do a lot of things. I don't know how to explain a lot of things.
That's okay. We can do it. We can just go for it.
So what happens is someone's gonna say an I statement,
okay.
I'm gonna open the door. You want to repeat that exactly. You're gonna open the door, and then you're going to add something that you're going to do. So you're going to open the door, and I'm going to sweep. Okay, you're going to sweep, and I'm going to shake the rug. Okay, you're going to shake the rug, and I'm going to...
Now, I've never done this before, so I am trying it out here for the first time. So I know not what's going to happen.
Good. Important takeaways. We want to use our inventory of words that we have. We want to use and listen to, you want to listen to and regurgitate exactly what your scene partner has said.
Okay. So
that they know that you hear them, and you also are now not only hearing what they're saying, but putting it, re-saying it, so you are also now hearing it again.
And then adding
because you got to build in an improv scene, and just like when you're jamming with friends, if not everyone is putting in the same amount of detail and work, one person is working harder than the other. So
okay. Well, I got my work hat on.
I love it. I've also got my work hat on.
Oh, that's a nice hat.
Thank you. Your hat has a
wheelie little wheel thing in the wind. It's going in the wind, but there's no wind because
we had to turn the fan off.
Yes.
For sound reasons.
Yeah, the sound designer said it had to be that way. Gosh.
Jerks.
Yeah, I know. All right, so let's do it.
Great. So either one of us can start.
Okay.
Whoever just feels compelled to say an I statement. Just anything.
Okay.
I am thinking about how we need to be focusing on a relationship of these characters and how to build this scene.
Oh, you're thinking about how we should be focusing on the relationship of these characters and how to build this scene. And I'm thinking about that trip we took to Hawaii back in 2085.
You're thinking about the trip we took to Hawaii back in 2085, and I'm trying to fix our HomeBot.
You're trying to fix your HomeBot, and I'm trying not to snicker at the fact that the HomeBot clearly expired last week, which you would see if you looked under his sneaker.
You're refusing to tell me that there is an expiration date at the bottom of my HomeBot, and I'm trying to call the helpline called HomeBot 888 HomeBot. That's the phone number.
You're trying to call the HomeBot Healthline at 888 HomeBot Healthline, and I'm trying to remind you that since the last nuclear attacks with the Nevadans, then there haven't been any of those helplines working that I know of, except for the one to help you make homemade sausage, which really isn't that helpful when you have no sausage to speak of.
I only heard sausage because we're starving.
You only heard sausage because we're starving, and I'm unable to think straight because we're starving, and because there's this unstoppable tick in my eye ever since those alien tick machines from the Nevadans sent over their nuclear bombs have been flying around trying to break into our house and take over our bodies.
I have been, we're done. Let's be done.
Okay. I have no idea if I did that well or if I didn't do that well.
You know what you did do? You made a lot of enemies. Nevada's not happy with you right now, Chris.
For everybody.
They're supposed to be our Western allies.
Okay. Gosh, well,
we need buffer states if we're going to secede.
I know, and the food is so cheap there.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Anyway, well, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
I'm gonna pull the latch to get off the bus to stop the bus right now. We're getting off. Okay. Okay. All right. Do I get to be just me now?
You do.
Okay.
You always get to be you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And that was a very interesting first time attempt at a theater game while recording.
Yeah.
So, how did we do? Other than, alienating Nevadans. But I thought it was a clever little move.
Oh, yeah. No, I thought it was great.
Nuclear war.
Yeah,
California,
definitely.
Nevada.
Yeah. And once and you were one of the, tips for improv, especially when you start working more into scene work versus just like warm-ups or skill drills is think the whole idea of if this is true, what else would be true about it? So the fact that I was fixing a HomeBot, or you said that something about 2085, to me that meant, that signaled to me, okay, so we're obviously farther off in the future than that, so what else is going to be true about our lives? And that's why I brought up the robot.
Yeah. Well, you had a moment there where you said, I got the little it's just like, come on, we need to start a scene now. And so then, what are we doing? If I made it sound like a date far in the future was actually in the past, that would be a fun place to start.
Yeah, totally.
You're right, you definitely took it from there. Like you're saying, the development of the scene is important, so that it doesn't stay static. But then continually it's like a new revelation. It's like, oh, we're in the future. Oh, there's a HomeBot. Oh, there's nuclear war. Oh, we're starving. It's like interesting revelations going on. Cool, very cool. Is there anything else that you want to try? Any other game you want to try real quick, since we got the time? And this is all about playing today, clearly.
Know. Well, do you want to try to do the vowel?
Yes.
The vowel cemetery?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. I should start too, right? It's like, okay. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Pretty creepy scene.
Okay, good. Because I had no idea what was going on, but I just went with it best I could. And yes,
it definitely works better when there's more than two people, because then like you can keep your sound going while other people blend, and
so it's like a little band sort of.
Yeah, definitely.
Weird sounds. Yeah, awesome. That's cool. Well, there's a whole spirit of play, obviously.
Yes.
If anything, this episode, that's what it's about to me, as we're talking. It's spirit of play. With children, they're constantly playing, and there's suddenly, like, I remember as a kid, I was on a raft, and I was surviving on an island, and I was like a pirate captain, and then I was drunk from too much wine and flipping around, so that's what spinning around in the living room was, and then I was trying to escape the Sarlacc pit and return the Jedi and not fall in and stuff and get digested over the next 1,000 years. Things like that. And so it's like, it just kind of, like you said, you just got the bug and you never quite left it.
Nope, never did.
And
I'm still jumping over that Sarlacc pit.
Okay. Well, you're jumping. I just tried to escape it as the best I could. But, I think that obviously it's funny because this kind of thing is best in a way just experienced. You can talk about it. Basically, just play. Try things out.
Yes.
But, the spirit of play, which I think and I know, more people can use, especially as adults. Which is why they like us performers.
Yeah.
Because we bring play to something.
We do.
Whether it's theater, comedy, music, even dance or whatnot.
There's not any ego in it. It's the being completely present and letting whatever unusual thing happen, and not trying to be like, I could give any kind of negativity to it. So
not judge it.
There's not a lot of judging.
Judge it. It's in fact, I think that life unfolding in the moment is inherently playful. But the creative performer kind of brings that to the foreground and like celebrates it. Like that's our shtick. Like, you know, yes, yes, that's
I'm
it.
clapping right now.
Yes. And it's, you know, it's needed in life because I think inherently that's inside of all of us. But,
I agree.
You know, sometimes people, they just lose sight of it. Life can be so intense and serious.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And strangely kind of sap away, or for at least temporarily, that connection.
Yeah.
But if you're a performer, well, the way you're talking about it, the way you're bringing it, it's all there, that connection, that playfulness.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about that, or anything else we've been talking about?
Well, something that's very important that I think all of your listeners should know is the fourth Friday of every month at the Sacramento Comedy Spot, Chris and I are in You the Musical. So.
Yes. Good.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, no, that's good. Hey, it's time for plugs.
Good.
Yes, so let's just...
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just kind of review that stuff so that they know.
Sure.
The Comedy Spot is located in downtown Sacramento at... Remind us, what is the address?
1020 20th Street, Suite 130.
Yes.
And it's in the Mars building.
Okay. And the website is...
www.saccomedyspot.com.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, then, Michelle, you know what? Just to recap, I so appreciate actually you as a teacher and you as a performer.
Thank you.
Today, you as a guest, songwriting collaborator, music video star, and game workshop leader. Sort of. For us two.
What don't I do?
You also were a cat petter.
I was a cat wrangler, all that.
And you were also a salad maker.
I was.
A very good salad.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Michelle. Well, it's been so much fun. And we're going to go out with a little quick little flourish on the piano, which I know you're going to provide.
Yes.
Since you've been studying up for exactly not. So here we go. All right, there you go. Thank you for listening.
I have a very strong feeling about this type of word. I mean, it might seem alarming, but to me, it's nothing short of absurd. I think you know what I mean. You seem like you're as intense as me. I don't do anything halfway. I try to go all the way. Intensity. I like to be all up in me. Intensity. I like to be all about intensity.
Here we go. Now for the pianist. Intensity. What does this mean to me? Well, I shall try for a second to explain my cause. When I think about that word, it's just sort of strong. It's like a fire and not doing things wrong. And all the things I tried to do since I was real young. How I could do things and not feel dumb. I was always on point, the best that I could be. But sometimes the perfectionism afflicted me and it was not very fun, as you can see. But I try to get over it, to agree with life that is fun, more fun and still intense. What is that about? It's about wanting to have a good time. And just like I'm sitting here making up this rhyme, intensity. Oh, intensity. It makes no sense to me. But I try my best to be intense and okay with life when I Intensity in action.
Is that the end?